Welcome to Africa Talk Multimedia Network. Epsiba Akinwande speaking. This talk show has been held in Egypt for years back, and we're having the chapter here in Nigeria. And this talk show is going to be an intro for this foundation in Nigeria. But before I proceed to tell you more about this talk show today, I would like to welcome by my right hand side and my left hand side, Mrs. Abosede Adilaja.
I greet you all. I am Abosede Adilaja, a journalist.
I say hello to every one of us. My name is Ayo Meji, a head coach and a counselor.
Well, this talk show is actually based on teaching profession, looking at teaching profession in Nigeria, with additional with the pandemic, ongoing pandemic that we have all over the world. COVID-19 has actually contributed a lot to the world, and whether positively or negatively, and this is why we are here this day. So I would like you to tell us your opinion concerning the ongoing pandemic before we look straight to our mentors.
We all know that even children knows what is going on. It hit our country in the month of March. I think the first case was recorded in March, and since then it's been on and on. But we thank God that by His grace it's been subsided. So many people have been tested positive, and at the same time so many have been discharged. We thank God for this. It has affected so many professions. It has affected businesses, goods and services. It has affected even relationship, family background, and all those. As I'm talking to you, so many family members can no longer hug, shake, or do all sorts of things they usually do in common. Even gatherings somehow have been affected. But thank God, gradually it's easing up.
The pandemic has put positive and negative effects. But let me pick it from the side of the family. The pandemic affected a lot of families, like my other colleague said. It compelled parents to stay home by force and by fire. Somehow, husband and wife who are always jumping out of the house in the morning were compelled to stay at home, at least for the first 3 months when it was tough. That kind of affected their purses somehow, where they don't know how the children were feeding before. Daddy had jumped out by 5 o'clock. Now he had to stay at home and see the day-to-day life of the children. It also affected parent relationship, neighbors, especially where the siblings have not always been together. Now everybody were forced to come home, university, secondary, primary, and there was a lot of jam in the home. But thank God that we are all learning. The pandemic opened our eyes to a lot of economic crises, that concentrating on one means of livelihood was very dangerous. So families are learning not to put all their eggs in one basket, to avoid such crisis next time.
We see the pandemic COVID-19 on private schools. So, Mommy, Mrs. Abosede Adilaja, do you still think that do you still consider teaching job a profession to be reliable on?
Why not? Naturally, everybody is a teacher in one way or the other. All of us instruct our younger ones at home. In churches, mosques, in religious settings, you instruct one person or the other. So naturally, you are a teacher. And if you are a good person, you desire somebody to make it in life. You are a teacher, because one way or the other, your life is influencing others. You are a teacher. But come to teaching as a profession, it means that somebody somewhere has undergone trainings to be a teacher. teachers' work, we should know that it molds life. For instance, when a child goes, before a child is registered in school, he knows little. But by the time he or she is enrolled and handed over to a teacher, you know, the process begins. And gradually you begin to mold the life of the person, you begin to shape it in a way that in the future, people will sing praises of whosoever has done that.